As we approach what will be for many people a long weekend, more and more people are considering making plans. This at the same time that thousands of people have lined up in clinics and drive-thrus to get that second dose of COVID-19 vaccine. But how long are you actually considered protected and fully vaccinated? And what about mixing with people who aren't? For more on this, we're joined by Dr. Satchan Takaya, an infectious disease expert in Saskatoon. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's start with second dose protection. How long are we actually considered fully vaccinated before boosters will come into the picture?
I think a lot of that is still in development. We don't know for sure, mainly because we have new variants and things coming up that might affect the efficacy of the vaccines. Right now, if it wasn't for the variants, I think we understand that it will protect for at least 9 months, maybe 12. A lot of that information is forthcoming as we gain more experience and have vaccinated people out there. So we know that it protects much better than just getting COVID. Just getting COVID will protect you for anywhere from 3 months, maybe 6 tops. But by getting the vaccine, it really boosts that immunity. So it'll take you into that 9 to 12 months at minimum. But again, the information is still coming. And again, it changes a little bit as the variants come into play here in Canada.
School's wrapping up. Health measures are soon coming off in Saskatchewan. We know there will be mixing between fully vaccinated people, half vaccinated people, and kids who are not vaccinated at all. That said, what should we be keeping in mind to be together, but safely?
Yeah, it's going to be a big change, but I would like everyone to think of, the measures is not as an on-off switch. It's not going to be like, oh, good, masks are gone. It's going to be, let's assess the situation and see if we still need a mask. It really should be thought of as a dimmer switch. So look at the situation that you're presented. How big is the crowd? Is it people that you know? Are they people that have been vaccinated? So if you look at and assess that setting for your risk, and then also look at yourself and see if you are at risk. Have you been vaccinated fully? Do you have 2 doses and it's been 14 days? Do you just have 1 dose? Are you unvaccinated? Do you have any immunocompromising conditions? And those will put you at risk as well. So I think it's a balance of the setting that you're in. How big is the crowd? Are you in a mass setting, and your personal risk, right? And putting those things together to decide if you still need that mask. It shouldn't be an on-off thing. Really assess the situation and decide. All those important lessons we've learned in the last year and a half still should stay with you, and you make that judgment based on the situation.
We know airlines are adding more flights and travel will start to pick up. How should people prepare if travel is on the agenda?
Yeah, travel is going to be big. I think everybody's feeling a bit cooped up. And so I think for the preparation, as far as those restrictions for international travel, we really do have to wait for the federal government's guidance on that. Within Canada, we don't have a lot of border restrictions between provinces. And so the important lessons that we've learned, again, stay safe. So if you are in a setting where there's large crowds, make sure that you have a mask handy, keep your hand sanitizer handy as well, and to social distance where you can. And then when you travel, also keep in mind who you're traveling with and what happens if you get sick while you travel, right? So be prepared to have a flexible schedule so that you can take that time to get tested if you do get sick, because it's really important, not just for yourself, but for the people around you or for your visiting family. You need to know if you have COVID. So know where you're going to get tested if you are going somewhere. Just have those things ready, just in the back of your mind. We don't want it to ruin your holiday. We want everybody to have a great summer vacation, but also remember that if you do get sick, you still really need to keep in mind that vaccines aren't 100%, that there's still a chance that you can get infected. So just to take care and be prepared.
All this mixing and mingling means so are all the regular germs that we've avoided for the last year or so. And that could mean your first cold in a long time. If someone who is fully vaccinated finds themselves with a cold, which also mimics COVID symptoms, should they get tested? What should they do?
Definitely get tested. So again, those lessons that we've learned, if you feel sick or unwell, number one, don't go to work, don't go to school. Make arrangements to have that test done and to see if it is COVID or not. Because it's very difficult to tell. It's not just colds, but we'll have flu season this year with masks coming off. And so it's important to get tested so we know whether it's COVID or something, just like a regular cold. The most important thing I think that we've learned through COVID is that if you're unwell, don't go to work, don't go to school. Make sure you get tested and isolate until you know those results.
Thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Dr. Satchan Takaya is an infectious disease expert in Saskatoon.